So sorry we did not have a release jam video last month. The reason is last month was a very interesting month for us. We had a lot of features planned, and we wanted to take the extra time to make sure that the features we shipped were of superior quality so that we did not introduce any bugs into the product. So we had to scale back and some deadlines were pushed. So I'm so sorry that we did not have a release jam last month, and I promise to make up for it in this video and in the next release jam, so stay tuned for that. Also, I have a really big announcement to share. Drum roll please. We have a new YouTube staff. This is Nonso. He is a developer advocate who just joined us recently. You can see I'm so excited to have someone else join us full-time for YouTube. So you're going to be seeing a lot of his videos coming shortly. So please go subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and stay tuned on the channel for all of his awesome videos that will be coming out. Alright, so for today's release jam, we actually have a number of interesting features to take a look at. The first being mutable JavaScript variables, a really big feature. Then we'll also take a look at a new layout that helps you build responsive apps. Then we have an AI assistant on Appsmith. AI is everywhere right now. It's also on Appsmith. Last feature we'll be taking a look at today is a custom navigation layout. And with that, let's get started. My name is Confident, and I'm a developer advocate at Appsmith. Without any delay, let's get into it. Alright, so let's start with the mutable JavaScript variable feature. This is going to be a really big feature because it will simplify how you write code on Appsmith. So for some time now, you could actually create variables in JavaScript files and reference them elsewhere. That worked fine and it still works today. But the problem is they were immutable. You could not update the state of that variable, and they were static and really not so useful. If you actually wanted to create a container to hold a variable that could be updated with time, you actually had to use the Appsmith store, which under the hood uses the local storage API that's available on your browser. And this comes with some significant downside. First, it was very slow because you're actually writing to the local storage API on your browser. Two, it was also very verbose. You had to write a lot of code to do simple things like updating the store or retrieving data from the store. And thirdly, it wasn't intuitive because you had to instead rely on the store to update variables versus just doing it directly in JavaScript. Well, that's all in the past right now, and we have the ability for you to mutate JavaScript variables on Appsmith. So let's take a look at how it was before and how it is now using the new feature. So this is a setup that illustrates how to update the count of a variable. And you can see we have the count train up right here. And if I click on this button, it actually increases the count. This is using the old method. As you can see, the text is bound to the value in the store. And we can go take a look at the JavaScript implementation. So let's open up old.js and let's walk through how this actually works. Previously, you had to have a lot of setup to make this work. So first, you need to have an init function which creates a variable called count in the store and saves its value or sets its value to 0. And of course, your init function has to be set to run on page load so that you're sure you have this variable initialized and it has a value of 0 each time the app starts up. Then you need to go on to write a logic to actually update that count variable when the button is clicked on. So first you need to read the value from the store, then you need to increment that value, and then you need to save that value back into the store to have the Appsmith state updated. And after doing all of that, you end up with an app that can actually increment. Now, this is a very simple example, and you notice that it required so much steps to get this simple setup done. But with the new JavaScript variable mutation, you actually don't have to do all of that stuff. So this code is using the new setup, and you can see I can hit the button. It's way faster, and let's take a look at how the implementation works. Alright, you can see it's way fewer lines of code and doesn't require as much overhead thinking about it. So you declare a variable, in this case a number, and the counter function just increments that number, and that's it. And you can see that it works, right? You can see this works, and it's a very, very powerful feature. And this works for numbers, strings, maps, sets, objects, arrays. You can now mutate variables created within the JavaScript file on Appsmith. So that's the mutable JS variable feature, and I'm excited for it because it's going to help me write cleaner code. Alright, so moving on to the next feature we have on the list, we have responsive layouts. This is a feature that is going to help you build responsive apps that we can guarantee will look great and work fine across all device screen sizes, ranging from smart TVs to smart watches. So let me show you how this feature works. To use this feature, you have to go to the app settings page. Okay, actually not the app settings page, it's right here. It's a button that says convert to auto layout, and what this does is that it's going to upgrade the canvas experience to a responsive type. So let's go hit the convert to auto layout button, and here's a model showing you that if this does not work, you can actually roll back, because we would keep a snapshot of your current app for 5 days so that you test it out. If it doesn't work well for you, you can roll back. So let's go ahead to convert our app to auto layout and hit the refresh button. Alright, and you notice that the app has been converted to auto layout. First, you have this banner. Something else you also notice is that you have this slider, which helps you change the viewport of the app. So let us take a look at how the app responds as we change the viewport of the app. So we have two widgets. We have a table, we also have a form. Now notice that as we move to a smaller screen size, maybe a tablet size for example, we still have the app visible. Both widgets are visible, but they're starting to respond to the size of the display. And of course, if we make this a phone viewport for a mobile device, you can see that the form wraps around the table widget, and we still have both widgets visible, but it's now in a more usable form for mobile devices. So this is the new responsive layout feature, aka auto layout, and I highly encourage you to go check it out. In fact, we're making a video on it right now to show you how to use this feature and what other benefits it has. So go check out that video when it's available on the channel, and I'll see you there. So you thought we weren't going to jump on the AI hype train, right? Think again. Introducing Smith GPT, your personal AI assistant right within the editor. So there are two ways to summon the AI assistant. I'm just going to show you both real quick. I am going to grab an input widget. So let's grab an input widget, and let's imagine we want to set up regex validation for credit card numbers. So let's go into the regex field. Now, to actually use the AI feature, you can use the / or the slash command. That's the /, and here you have an option to ask AI. So I'm just going to ask AI, and you have the AI assistant window shown up right here. So you can go ahead to do things like let's say regex for master card. All right. And this is the regex validation. So I'm just going to copy this, head over here, paste it in. Because this is actually a regex field, we do not need all of the curly braces and the escapes we have here. So let's test this out. I am going to copy an actual regex, an actual credit card number, and let's see if this works. Oh, and it does. Because if I go type in something else, it says it's invalid, and if I put in an actual credit card number, you can see that this works. So this is the Ask AI feature. The second method to actually open this up is using the status bar right here. So you have the Ask AI button here. The status bar is going to be available or accessible across all pages on Appsmith. So even if you don't have a widget up on the canvas, you can actually go hit the Ask AI button and start chatting with Smith GPT. This is a really awesome feature, and it's going to reduce your dependency on support and also on Google, because you could just ask for JS expressions, functions, or SQL query, and you get the help you need right here. And just a word of caution, please don't go asking Smith GPT things like how to make money online. I already did, and sadly it did not work. You've all been asking for it, and finally we have a feature that lets you customize the navigation experience on Appsmith. To set up custom navigation, you have to navigate to the navigation settings from where you can change the navigation layout. Oh my god, Eminem, I'm coming for you. Alright, so let me show you how this works. Right here on the page, I want to go to the app settings and then go to the navigation option, and here is where you can change the navigation experience of your app. If you're not sure what navigation I am referring to, I'm just going to deploy the app and show you what I mean. So on a deployed app, you have these nav buttons that allow you to move to various parts of your application. An app typically has multiple pages, and once you have multiple pages on your app, you have this navigation bar to which users can navigate across your app. Alright, so that's what I'm referring to. Now we can go customize it, right? So let's go to app settings, navigation. We can change the navigation type from top to side, which is the vertical navigation layout, as you can see. And we can also change the theme. So if I go deploy this, let's deploy this and take a look. And you can see that we have a vertical navigation bar. It still works as you'd expect, but in a vertical mode. Let's go back to tweaking the navigation a bit, and let's say I want this to be themed using my app color, and of course I'll turn off the sign in button. So let's deploy this and let's head back, and you can see that we have this vertical nav bar themed and styled the way I want. In fact, users can also collapse the vertical nav bar so that you have a much cleaner app experience if that's what you're into. Alright, so that's the custom navigation layout feature, and I'm excited for it. I finally get to build apps with vertical nav bars, and I'm going to be testing this feature out. And that's it. So we've taken a look at some of the features we're shipping in this release, and we actually have more coming in this release and also in the future release we weren't able to cover in today's video, including limited Google Sheets permission, private embedding, auto instance backup for self-hosted instances, the ability to format code on save, better error messages for async functions, and prepared statements for Oracle data sources. Alright, so that's it. You should expect to see some of these features covered in the next release, and I'm going to catch you there. But in the meantime, if you want to see some of the videos we've been making, we have this video that shows you how to set up authentication and access control using Postgres RLS, and of course we have this video right here where Nonso shows you how to set up or upgrade to Appsmith Business Edition. It's his first video, so go check it out and tell him how he did in that video. Alright, I'll see you next time. Odabo.